Doug from CRS. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Come on in.
Thank you. Okay, where are we off to?
The kitchen.
Great. Well, how did you hear about CRS Granite, Deb?
Actually, Doug, I was at Home Depot and I was looking for ideas to upgrade my kitchen. So I met a lady in line and she recommended your company. So when I got home, I Googled your website and I was quite impressed by your website.
Nice.
I like the fact that you can cover over your existing countertop.
Right.
I like that it's shiny and beautiful and has nice edges, decorative edges. So I was impressed, like I said, so I gave your office a call and I was quite impressed by the girl that answered the phone. Very helpful, very informative. So I made an appointment. Well,
thank you for the compliment, Deb. We've worked really hard over the years to ensure that the customer's experience from the beginning to the end is exceptionally positive. We've worked very hard on putting before and after videos on our website, and we're hoping that the homeowners will have the opportunity to be able to go to our website and be able to see kitchens, similar designs, color combinations, things of that nature. And well, we appreciate the fact that you called us. We know that there's other companies out there that have products similar to ours, but we feel that our product offers the shine and it is real granite compared to other products that are not exactly as shiny and they tend to come across looking a little bit faded in appearance.
And I liked your before and after videos, and that looked nice and shiny, didn't look fake. So I was quite impressed by your installation process. As well, my husband, who's an engineer, was quite impressed as well, because most of the sites, you know, they look phony, they don't look real, and yeah, we were quite impressed.
Yeah, a lot of them think it's more than just a bunch of pretty pictures. We try to show you the before and after, so you again give the idea of color combinations and to get some ideas as to how to put your kitchen together and what will go well with your appliances and your cabinets, and we've worked very hard on that. Okay, Deb, so what are your plans for the kitchen?
Well, actually, Doug, we're planning on doing the counters, and at a later date, if we can afford it, we're thinking of doing the cabinets.
Okay.
My husband's already removed the backsplash here, so we're looking at doing that.
Okay, you planning to tile, or are you planning to do full height granite backsplash? What was your thoughts?
We're actually planning a tile.
Okay, Deb, I brought a few samples to be able to show you what we're going to be doing in the installation process. This is just to give you a better idea of what we do. So what we're doing is we're making a cap to go over top of your existing counter. This doesn't require us to have to remove your counter or disposal or very little in terms of time. It's a one-day installation process. So what we're doing is we're making a cap in our shop and bringing it and putting it over top of your existing counter. What we also do is we'll remove the post-form backsplash. We'll give your husband the opportunity of tiling right down to the granite. Okay, Deb, so what are your plans for your sink and your faucet?
Well, actually, Doug, I was wondering, can you cover over the existing sink?
No, Deb, we don't cover over an existing sink simply because it's a lot more work for us to do it that way, because we need to be able to follow the bends of the sink in terms of how we polish our granite. So we can't be able to use an existing sink. Also, some sinks that you have, although you don't have it, have a drip bend at the back, which essentially prevents us from being able to turn it into an undermount sink.
Okay. Do you supply the faucet?
No, we don't supply the faucet. Typically what we ask our customers to do is to go up to a Home Depot or Lowe's or some of the big box stores, because there's a wide selection of faucets to choose from. We usually recommend to clients to lean towards a Moen faucet simply because the collar assembly underneath the Moen faucet has an O-ring washer which allows for the faucet assembly to grip the granite. So when you tighten the nut underneath, the washer will compress against the shiny surface of the granite and prevent the faucet from coming loose over time as it swings back and forth through regular day-to-day use.
Okay. How durable is your product compared to thicker granites?
That's a good question, Deb. The whole granite industry went thicker in order to cut operating costs, and at CRS Granite we actually went thinner to cut operating costs for the following reasons. Our product, because of the fact that we're cutting the slabs thinner than what you're used to seeing, we've significantly reduced the weight of the counters. We're no heavier than a toaster on top of a counter because we're only weighing in at 4 pounds per square foot. Compared to your full thickness granite, they're weighing in at between 14 and 22 pounds per square foot. That's a lot of weight over top of your cabinets and your floors. By cutting the slabs thinner and combining it with a woven fiberglass backing, we have actually introduced flex properties. So when you have a large counter as big as this, and your floor joists are perpetually moving up and down through humidity and temperature changes that are occurring naturally within your home, our granite has the ability to move up and down. In fact, we can flex almost up to 3/8 of an inch over a 10-foot span over time. And that's a huge benefit that the full thickness granite industry is not able to offer the homeowners. Granite under its own weight will form a stress crack if it has a gap underneath the top of the cabinet. So if there's a single 32 gap, the granite is at risk of breaking under its own weight because the natural fissures of the stone will allow a crack to form from one end to the other, and no different than a concrete driveway outside. If it manages to make its way all the way through, the slab will break under its own weight.
So what about staining the counter?
Well, the good thing, Deb, is our product will not stain. The reason that it won't stain compared to full thickness granite is in fact because of it's only 3/8 thick. Solutions, as they penetrate into the stone as sealers evaporate over time, doesn't allow for the solutions to go into the lower portions of the stone because we're only 3/8 thick. Compared to the full thickness granite, the solutions will go to the lower portions of the stone, and most of the products that are designed to remove marks from granites dry up about halfway down. So our product, the fact that it only goes 3/8 down, allows for us to put and remove anything that gets into your counter.
Great. Now what about, Doug, if I have a pot and I take it off the stove and I want to put it on the counter, how will it stand up?
Well, that's the good thing about granite, Deb, is it has the highest heat tolerance compared to any countertop that you could buy. Corian, laminate, engineered stone, quartz products. Granite will withstand heat up to 3,000 degrees, whereas most other products can only withstand up to 500 degrees before the product either starts melting, burning, or scorching. So the good news about ours is the fact that it is real granite. It will not burn.
No, but what about cutting on the counter? Can I cut on the counter?
Well, Deb, the good news about granite is the fact that it is one of the hardest countertops that you can have in your kitchen. Granite, on average, registers about 7 on the hardness scale. Most of your kitchen knives and pots and pans register about 5.3. So passing a knife over top of your countertop, if you've got teenagers or kids, it's not going to scratch the surface of the granite. The thing is, if you use the granite like a cutting board, the problem is that 3 passes with your kitchen knives, you're going to dull your knives really fast. So we still recommend that you have a cutting board and that you use a cutting board when you have a granite countertop.
Now I heard that granite was high maintenance. Is that true?
No, absolutely not. Granite is not high maintenance. Where granite is getting the reputation of being high maintenance is because they went thicker. We went thinner. High maintenance is essentially in the full thickness industry is because the stone needs to be resealed almost every 6 months. Our product doesn't need to be sealed that often because it doesn't have the ability to evaporate from the product, and we can fully saturate the stone so that nothing will get into this stone over time. We do benchmark our stones to be resealed once every 2 years, and that's covered under your homeowner's warranty. That doesn't cost you anything. We simply will come to your home and reseal the counter absolutely free of charge.
So really, this is an environmentally friendly product then?
Absolutely. The biggest benefit is the fact that we're only drawing about 1/3 of the material from the earth. We can also import larger quantities of slabs without using a lot of fossil fuels, which means that there's more granite for everybody to enjoy.
I heard something about granite being a health risk.
What you've probably heard, Deb, is something about what they call radon gas. Radon gas is something that the granite industry is now starting to struggle with, is because the whole industry went thicker. And because they're now thicker, the granites are giving off higher levels of radon. What radon is it's the second leading cause of lung cancer. Because we decided that thicker was not the way to go, because of that radon issue, it's one of the reasons why we don't work with full thickness granite. It's why we've leaned this way, is because only being 3/8 thick, with the amount of counter space in a kitchen with a lot of open air and even in your condominiums, is not a health risk, because it doesn't give off the high levels of radon emissions that is often found in full thickness.
Wow, I didn't know that. What is your warranty?
Our counters come with a full 10-year service warranty, so that includes just about everything with your counter, and that warranty is transferable to the next homeowner.
Great.
Okay, Deb, let's take a look at some granite colors.
Alrighty.
We have a lot of colors to choose from. Are you leaning more towards a dark stone or a light stone?
You know, I'm not really sure. I was hoping maybe you could help me with that.
Okay, let's just put them out. There's a lot of thought that goes into choosing the right stone. So one of the questions that I have is, are you planning to change your floor?
Yeah, we don't have any plans right now to change the floor, but my husband and I have been talking that maybe we want to downsize in the next 5 years, maybe looking for a smaller home.
Okay. Well, Deb, if you're planning to sell your property in the next 5 years, then our granite overlay is definitely the way to go, because of the fact that it is real granite, and that warranty that we talked about earlier is transferable to the next homeowner, because I don't really care who owns the counters. I want to know that we're the company that's going to look after them from the beginning to the end.
Wow, you have a lot of colors to choose from. It's going to be hard to make a decision here.
Well, choosing the right color is often based on your personality, your choice of furnishings, and also the neighborhood that you live in. So what we're going to do, Deb, is we're going to break the stones down into 3 groups. So it's going to be a yes, a no, and a maybe.
Okay. So are they all priced the same?
No, they're all priced different. We have 5 levels of stone, level 1 being the least expensive and level 5 being the most expensive. But typically what I ask that my homeowners do is pick a stone based on what you like. I don't want to let you know the price of the stones, because I don't want that to influence your decision.
So these are the ones that I like the best.
Okay, that's great, Deb. Let's take a look at them. I brought my portfolio book, Deb, that will help you to be able to see some finished kitchens that I've done in the colors that you're looking at. So let me just grab it.
Wow, these are really beautiful. You know, that gives me a better idea of what I'm looking at. You know, Doug, I think I'm leaning towards this one. I like this one better than the other options with my floor and countertops and that. This is the backsplash that we're looking at doing.
Oh, that looks nice, Deb. I agree.
That looks great.
I agree.
Yeah.
That looks really, really nice. I think with the lighting that you're going to have, and possibly putting in some extra task lighting, will really make the stone sparkle. Deb, you mentioned earlier that you were possibly changing the color of your cabinets as well, and I think with the choice of emerald pearl, I think at a later point in time, you possibly, or even now, you possibly look at doing the refacing. And what refacing is what we're doing is we're taking the doors off and replacing them with new doors, new hinges, and new handles. Everywhere where we have an exposed panel, we will put another panel here. We will cover over any of the exposed areas there. We'll put new kick plates on. We'll install new spacers. So basically the old box will stay, but everything else around it will change. And I think that will really make a nice addition to your tiled, your task lighting system, and your emerald pearl granite countertop.
I like the idea of being able to reface the cabinets at a later date. So right now my husband and I are not sure that we can afford it. And also I'm thinking of putting a microwave above the stove. Is that something you can do?
Well, we can certainly help you with the size of the cabinets and possibly reducing the size to allow for you to put a microwave in there. We would do that at the time that we would be refacing, because a kitchen is essentially a bunch of boxes. It's all modular. So somebody who wants to make a change in a cabinet above, all we simply do is we would remove this cabinet, put in a new box that would be slightly shorter, and then we would be refacing everything. It's especially good for people who want a pot and pan drawer. So essentially, if you wanted a pot and pan drawer here, we could take this whole box out and then we can install a pot and pan drawer. If you wanted to add a pantry, we can do that as well. So everything can be added at a later point in time if it's just not in the budget right now.
So if we decide to buy now, what happens next?
Well, then if you decide to buy today, what we would ultimately end up doing is we'd have to make a template of your existing counter. These are the precision measurements that we'll use in our shop in order to make the caps so that we have a perfect fit to go over top of your existing counter. You do have the option of having decorative angles put onto your counter as well if you feel that your hips are bumping into it.
My husband was wondering how you're going to install it around the stove, because you can see here there's a big gap there.
Well, Deb, what we do is we'll remove the stove. We'll trim a small portion of the counter there so that we have a finished edge that will go down to the bottom. Then we'll put a little seam piece and a bridge that will join the two pieces from one side to the other side so that it's a really nice continuous flow. So when your husband and you put the tiles on, it's going to look absolutely stunning. Okay, Deb, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start taking the measurements that I need in order to put together the quote for you. Okay. I know that you like the emerald pearl, so it will be very easy for me to present the quotes, but if there are any other colors that you are considering, then we'll be able to see what the prices are for those. So if you want to have a closer look at my portfolio book, go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and start taking some measurements.
Okay, great.
Okay, Deb, I finished putting your quote together here. If you want to just come take a look, we'll just go over it.
Okay.
This is the price of your countertop in emerald pearl. This is the price of your undermount sink with the polishing charge. This is the plumbing charge. And so your total price is there.
Oh wow, that's considerably cheaper than I've got other quotes for.
Well, glad to hear that.
Well, I think we're going to hold off on redoing the cabinets at the moment, but I would like to make an appointment if we can do the countertops at this time.
Oh, absolutely, Deb. I have my templating kit with me, so I'll be able to just template your counters right now, and we'll get started.
Great.
Okay, Deb, I'm done the templating. I'll load this up in my car, and I'll need a deposit check. We ask for 50% up front at this stage, and I will be emailing you a copy of the order confirmation reflecting the deposit check that you've given to me, and at the same time we'll start to schedule the installation dates, which will be handled by my project coordinator.
Okay, great. I'll write you a check right now.
Fabulous.
Well, Doug, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Well,
really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you very much for the order. Appreciate it. Here's a couple of brochures to be able to pass out to your friends, colleagues, and people at work, anybody that you know.
Great.
Our project coordinator will be in contact with you within the next couple of days just to organize the installation date for yourself. So thanks very much, and you have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi Deb, how are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Come
Looking
on
forward to seeing the kitchen all completed now.
All right. Take you in and show you.
Great.
Doug?
Oh wow, this looks fantastic.
Wow.
What a big change from what it was to what it is now.
I know.
I love the tiling work. You did a fantastic job. Did it take you long?
Yeah, a couple hours, but it turned out great. It was easy to do. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
What
I
a...
had friends over and they just love it. I gave your name out to a couple people, and I don't know if you had any calls, but they were really impressed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Deb, this is just absolutely stunning.